Good afternoon. It took me a minute to remember what time of day it was, but it is Monday. I know that. Squeezing a little book talk in here. Last week I finished listening to The Girl Who Smiled Beads by Clementine Wamariya. Okay, co-authored by Elizabeth Weil. And you can't really say, I really enjoyed this book because it is the story of a girl who survived the Rwandan genocide. If you don't know anything about it, you should listen to or read this book. Okay, it was profound, I guess you could say. It was moving. It made me think a lot about lots of different things. Okay, she talks a lot in her book about the book Night by Elie Wiesel. Some of you may have read this in class at one point or another, but she makes a lot of connections to her from her own story to the book Night. She actually wrote an essay about Night when she was 17 for a contest sponsored by Oprah, and was invited onto Oprah to meet Elie Wiesel, and her family was brought on that she had not seen in years and things like that. Very emotional situation, but also shaped a lot of her future experiences. But she talks a lot about what it means to be a refugee, how she feels about the word refugee and the word genocide as being very insufficient for describing her story. The idea that people expect her to tell her story as if it is a curiosity or an entertainment or something like that. And she says at points, how dare you? How dare you think that I owe you my story? Now, she chose to write this book and share her story, but I definitely recommend reading it. And if you haven't read Night, read Night. Teachers, this is something you could definitely do. If you read Night anyway, read excerpts of The Girl Who Smiled Beads, or you can play excerpts from the audio to connect, okay, and do further discussion. Great way to use these texts, but very important, I feel, to be read and shared. Now, on a lighter note, I just finished The Queen of Nothing. I've been working on this book for a while. It is not a difficult book. I've just had a really hard time sitting down and focusing on a book here lately. I've been doing a lot of stuff at home. I'm trying to get my house ready to sell and stuff, so I'm doing a lot of stuff where I'm not able to sit down and actually open a book. Once I have sat down and opened it, then it does move very quickly. It is fantasy, okay? Just fantasy. It is a third book in a series. If you like fantasy, especially fantasy featuring fairies and their tricksy ways and their conflicts and stuff, definitely recommend you start with number 1. And I honestly can't even remember what it's called. Cruel Prince, I think, is what the first one's called, and the second one is Wicked King, and then you've got Queen of Nothing. Great, good, escapist, twisty, but yet satisfying fantasy. Okay, that's all I've got for today, and I'll see you. I don't know if we'll have a TIFF on Thursday or not, but if we do, we'll see you, and if not, then I'll do some book talks on Monday.